I'm so sorry for everything that you are going through. So today I want to give you 12 tips on how you can decide to stay together, come together, be a couple, and a force for yourself, your family, and for good during this traumatic time. Let's get started. It's Tamara at True Connection, your dating and relationship coach, and I'm doing an emergency video and blog today because I'm really worried about you guys. You're either going through Hurricane Ida or COVID-19 or Delta variant or maybe military deployment or death or illness or forest fires. So anyway, the risk here is that you will lose your partner, that you will grow apart, and this awful circumstances, tragedy will destroy you. So you have one decision to make, and it will decide the fate of your relationship, and you are in control of this. So I want you to feel empowered by that. You can choose to pull away from each other or stay together. You don't have to lose this person. This really can bring you closer together. So if you decide to stay together, it's something you both need to decide. This is a conscious decision, and it's really hard to make any kind of conscious decision when you're going through something like this. But if you let the grief and the trauma take you too far away from each other, it will be hard to come back together to make this decision. So decide right away, are we going to come together to get through this and empower us and strengthen us, and because you can get through anything as long as you do it together, right? Maybe you are so exhausted and you are so traumatized, you've gone through so much that you don't have any energy to give to your partner. You just don't have anything left. So what I can reassure you though is when you start to give what you can to your partner, then they will give it back, and you will feed each other and you'll fill each other's love tanks, right? So the 12 tips to help you stay on track and help keep you together and keep you strong. There's a couple important things to remember. Everyone deals with trauma and tragedy differently. It's going to look different to both of you. One might be quiet, one might be talkative, one might be crying, one might just shut down, right? You got to be really careful with that shutdown though. That's when you start to grow apart. If you don't feel connected, you're not communicating, that's dangerous ground. The other important thing you want to remember is that it's going to look different. You have different feelings at different times. So something new will happen. You'll lose something else, or something else will occur, or it will get worse. You're going to react differently. One of you might withdraw further, or yell, or scream, or cry, or say nothing. Just complete blank, and you're going to be confused maybe by your partner's reaction or non-reaction, right? And you're going to make assumptions about how they're feeling based on their reaction. So try not to do that. Even though it looks differently, they might still feel the exact same way you do. They're experiencing the same thing that you do. They're just going to respond differently. That's okay. That's normal. Let's move on to tip number 1. You've got to focus on base level needs, right? Do we have food, clothing, shelter? Do we have resources? Do we have what we need just to get to the next day, just to survive? Okay, focus on that. That's number 1. Do either one of you need to go get medical care, get to the doctor? You guys need to be okay just for the moment. Tip number 2. How is this affecting you? Share with your partner, unload on your partner, vent, and then let them do the same in return. You guys have to get this out. Plus, you really do love each other and care about each other. You want to know what's happening to your partner and what they're experiencing, right? So ask, share, don't assume. And then, of course, you want to listen. Just let them unload, let them talk, let them cry, let them say whatever they need to say, and have compassion. And again, this might not look like what you're feeling or what you're going through, but it could very well be the same. Be your partner's best friend. Do you feel like you need some space? Tip number 3. Maybe you need some space. Maybe your partner needs some space, because a lot of times grief is a really private journey, and that's why this is such a dangerous situation. It's very easy to pull away. Just go into yourself and focus on your feelings and what you need, but also you are just so sad. You're destroyed right now, right? It's really hard to give and share and open up. So if you need space, Ask your partner, is this okay? I just need this for a little bit. I'm so sorry. Tell them why. You're just going to be quiet for a while. You need to go for a walk. You just need some time to yourself, and then use that time, right? Journal, sing, yell, scream in a pillow, whatever you need to do. Go do some exercise, some yoga, talk to a friend, contact a friend if you're able to, reach out to people right now, and let your partner do the same. Sleep, do whatever they do to get their stress out. Some people bake, some people run, some people sing or talk. So either one is okay. Tip number 4, you want to keep doing the little things. That'll help things feel more normal in this terrible time that you're going through. So kiss, hug, hold hands. When you come and go from the house, greet each other like you normally would. How was your day? Whatever you normally do when you leave the house and when you come home, all those little things will really help to get things back like to a new normal. It's not going to feel normal. You've just been through something terrible. It's going to be a new normal that you create together. Another great way to keep yourselves from pulling apart is tip number 5. Do things together if you can, like whatever you do to remedy this situation or take care of things or whatever life brings you. Tip number 5 is do it together. Spending time together like that might help you stay connected. And then as you're going through things, you'll be able to empathize with your partner because you're experiencing it in the same way. Here is tip number 6. You might just need to sit in silence, just loving, comforting silence with each other. Just sit together, comfort each other, and say nothing. You might be out of words. You might be out of tears. You might not even know how to share how you're feeling, but just being together might help you guys. Tip number 7. So your partner will likely take their emotions out on you. Their anger out on you, their silence, their disappointment, their withdrawal, their sadness, right? And that's normal, that's natural. You're the person close to them. They're going to want to share everything with you. This is just an unhealthy way to do it. So when you realize that you've done this to your partner, apologize, make up for it, try not to do it again. And if your partner says to you, hey, I love you, I'm here for you, please don't, I'm not the enemy, please don't take this out on me. Listen to them, right? It was an accident, you didn't mean any harm, so then just apologize and try your best. You're trying to manage your emotions, right? I know. So then just try your best just to not do it again. Keep that line of communication open. Tip number 8. If you can, reach out to your circle of friends and family. If you have the resources to get in touch with them, that could help too. Share how you're feeling with them and what you're going through as much as you can, and then kind of absorb that positive energy, that loving energy they're giving you back. They love you, they support you, they want to connect with you. People in your life that are close to you that might not support you, you don't have to call them. You can text them if you have a phone, give them an update. But the people that are going to lift you up and fill you up, reach out to them and let them care for you. Tip number 9, getting out your grief could look differently for both of you, right? You might seem like you're getting back to normal and your partner still might feel like they need more time. Your energy is really high, theirs is really low, and you guys need to get your grief out. And that's going to look differently maybe. So you're going to go, you're going to do a kickboxing video if you have that resource. Your other partner is going to just lay down and zone out in front of the television, or maybe take a nap, or you guys are just going to collapse somewhere in the park together, or you're going to go for a walk, or maybe one of you needs to volunteer and get out there and help other people, and one of you you can't figure out how to get out of the house right now. You can't make sense of anything. So try to be okay with your partner getting their grief out in a different way than you are. And for you, how are you going to get out your grief? What are you going to do? those chemicals are building up in your muscles. You're having a physical reaction to this, right? Your body is responding to this trauma and this stress. How are you going to get that out of your body? How are you going to cope? Tip number 10, you might be so lost. You just can't figure out how to put one foot in front of the other and you feel that you are pulling away. So is it time for professional help? Do you need a counselor to kind of, once you get to the point of being stable and the tragedy of the first few weeks gets to a point, just the pieces back together, that level 1, food, clothing, shelter, and you don't want to lose your spouse. You want to catch this before you guys get too far apart. You've noticed that you've pulled apart, right? The tragedy has just ripped the two of you to shreds. So maybe you do need a counselor. You just need someone to talk to so you feel heard, you feel understood. And because you have like a third person in the room, the great thing is then one person can talk and then you have the luxury of just listening. You're not in charge of the conversation. You can just talk, both speak, both be heard, and then you'll develop that compassion and understanding. And with a third person in the room, your partner might more easily be able to articulate, here's what I need. Here's what I would like from you. Here's what I need you to start doing. Here's what I need you to stop doing, right? Those really healthy conversations that are sometimes just really hard to get out when you're at home or in your new environment. It can be really rough. So don't feel bad if you've got to reach out and ask for help. Please don't wait. If you wait 6 months to get help when you needed it 6 months before that, it could be too late. It really could. It could be too late, you guys. There might not be any coming back from that. So as soon as you realize you need to go, go. Right? There's going to be emergency resources in your area. So ask, look into that, see what you can find. Just, you've got to ask for help, guys, when you need it. Tip number 11. Okay. So there's going to be times when a little humor happens. Life happens and life can be funny, or you're going to do something silly or stupid and you're going to crack up, or something funny is going to come on TV or the radio, or you're in the streets with, everyone going through the same thing that you are. Or maybe you're with your family who's experiencing the same thing you are. And you guys crack up in a traumatic situation, something's funny. That's okay. Let it happen. Laugh. Be yourself. Let your personality come out and give yourself grace. Things are going to be funny or loving, or you're going to grow closer to your spouse, or you're going to feel affection or passion for your spouse. And it might seem misplaced, but it isn't. You're a human being with this huge range of feelings. So let it come out. Tip number 12. Some time has passed and you realize, okay, this is our new normal. This is our new life. Talk about what you want your new life to be together. What do you want to create? Now that you're kind of at this place of starting over and creating something new together, what do you want it to look like? You can dream, you can talk, you can write things down. You might be starting from scratch. You've lost your home. You've lost, the most important family member to you. You are way down here. So what do you want to grow and build together? That can be a beautiful conversation that comes out of something really awful, right? This horrible circumstance, and you get to start over together. So, I love love languages. If you're not certain what your partner's love language is, take the assessment. So Google the love language assessment, Dr. Gary Chapman's brilliant system, and it helps you understand your partner so much better because you know their love language. And a love language is, how do they like to give and receive love and affection? Okay, so there's 5. And they might have more than one, which actually is kind of cool. So you want to know their first and secondary love languages. Some people have 3. You can just tell by the scores that you get at the end. It'll take you 20 minutes. Love language assessment. Just look it up and take it together if you have the time and resources for that. You can also get the book, of course. Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Rent it from the library or listen to it on an electronic resource. But anyway, that could save your marriage, because if If let's say my partner comes home, does the dishes for me after a long, hard day's work, that probably means my partner's love language is acts of service, trying to help me and take some burden and responsibility off my shoulders. What do I really want if my love language is touch? I want a hug and kiss and a cuddle on the couch. That helps me unwind. So you don't want to serve your partner through your love language. That's why it's just important to know your own love language. Once you know yours, you can ask your partner for what you need, and it puts what you both need in a framework, right? So you can understand each other. So make sure you figure that out, because during trauma, the last thing you want to do is irritate your partner by doing the wrong thing. You're trying to be loving and caring. Oh my gosh, you are getting on their nerves. You're getting on their last nerve. You don't want that. You're feeling overwhelmed, and this is you see the long road ahead of you. So decide, we are staying together. We choose to stay connected. We choose to be a team. And even though you feel powerless, I want you to know you do have more power than you think you do over some things in your life. Okay, don't let this get away from you. Keep this together, manage it, and just do it consciously, guys. You're going to have to think about this every day. You're going to come through this horrible experience together. You're connected. You've gotten through it. You are beaten up. You are black and blue and bruised. I'm with you. If you you go through this and you need some help and you need some time, I'm going to be continuing to post resources for you guys on my website, true-connection.net. You can do this, guys. Good luck. If you liked this video and this was helpful to you guys, hit subscribe, because next week and the week after that and the week after that, I'm going to give you more tips. And the next series is going to be based on the love languages. So I have 2 in a series posted already. So you can look up quality time. Here's how I help my partner feel loved with quality time. Here's how I help my partner feel loved with acts of service, etc. So stay tuned. And if you want to know when I post new videos right away, hit the notification.